about changing locations and shit. Man, into this motherfucking bag. Stand on the way I made. Sacrificing time for this shit, man, I got a plan. Tried to tell niggas years ago, they ain't understand. Riding by myself in this coupe, I'm all in my head. Everything in life you can't replace, I build relationships. Pretty little smile make a nigga wanna lock it in. We met the same time I lost a friend, we should try again. You been on my mind, you should hop in. I ain't gon' hurt you, baby girl, you know we locked in. Used to be on FaceTime calls on the regular. Never made time, landed on my busy schedule. Now every time I hit the bay, you know I think of you. Working on your brand, love, you know that I
Get out! Here we go!
Three on the out route.
Guyton.
The one who was fighting on him.
Yeah, here we go. Go, go, go. There it is. Hey!
Thread that needle. Bullet. What? It's a bullet. That was a bullet, man. He caught it. Looks.
All right, and we are live in the building, man. What's good with y'all? What you just seen was a compilation of training camp padded practice for the last couple days. Now, that's what we actually are here to talk about today, man. We're going to discuss who are the winners and who are the losers in training camp for the Dallas Cowboys up to this point. And listen, there's a lot of eyes on a lot of different players. Folks are wondering if Dak Prescott can pick up where he left off from last year, where he was an MVP candidate. Folks are curious about the run game this year. Does Zeke still got it? How are we going to replace Tony Pollard? Is any running back going to step up? You know, there's a bunch of questions floating around there. Even about Mazi Smith. Mazi Smith coming back from injury, filling in full time now for the departure of Jonathan Hankins. So there's a lot to discuss in Dallas Cowboys Nation, and we're gonna talk about it. But before we do, make sure y'all hit that like button, make sure y'all hit that share button, and do me the biggest favor and slap the shit out of an Eagles fan, man, while you're at it. Sugar Daddy 1, what's up with you, man? Appreciate you tapping in. And salute to everybody already in the liquor store, man. Sugar Daddy 1, my boy Timothy Miller said it don't matter what these receivers are doing in camp. None of them are going to replace CeeDee Lamb. Listen, I don't think they can. There's a huge talent gap in between CeeDee Lamb and everybody else, right? CeeDee Lamb was a first team All-Pro. He's one of the best wide receivers in the National Football League. So yes, man, like none of these guys can replace CeeDee Lamb. Tommy Montoya, what's up with you? I see you, my guy. John Jones, I see you, man. Salute to you. Timothy Miller, Kelvin Hicks, Chris Bolt's in the building, man. Salute to all y'all good people. So yeah, make sure y'all share the content 6 times because we do believe in manifestation. Make sure y'all slap the dog shit out of that Eagles fan. And if you want to help keep the lights on in the liquor store, hit that Cash App or hit that Super Chat, man. $ Henny the More, or you can hit the Super Chats or the Super Stickers. But let's go ahead and get into it. Now hey, what's up, Tamika, Desmond Ironman, my boy Jamison Taylor? I see y'all sliding in. So let's start, man, with one of the winners of training camp up to this point. Let's start with one of the winners of training camp up to this point. Willie T, I see you. Tyler Guyton, man, and this is somebody that I had concerns about Tyler Guyton. I wasn't gonna hold you. New position, because he wasn't starting at left tackle in college, even though he did protect the quarterback's blind side because they had a left-handed quarterback. Great athletic ability, but a couple red flags, a couple things that you would be concerned about with a raw rookie coming to the National Football League. But up to this point, everybody and their mama is saying that he is the clear-cut winner of training camp up to this point. Marcus Mosher, who was a Dallas Cowboys beat writer, Patrick No.C. Walker, multiple people that have been at training camp have raved about what they're seeing from Tyler Guyton up to this point. And listen, they didn't just hand him over first team reps, right? They didn't just hand him over first team reps. He earned them. He earned first team reps, and he played well. He's played well up to this point. There's footage of him walling off Micah Parsons, knocking Micah Parsons to the ground, holding up in pass pro, right? And those were things that, you look at the scouting report. Those were things that he been good at. One of the real critiques about him coming out of college was he misses people in space sometimes in the run game. Now, I haven't got any confirmation on if that's better or not, but in terms of how he moves, his hand placement, all those other things, he looks like a first round pick. He not only does he look like a first round pick, he looks like somebody that will be ready week 1 to contribute. And when we're talking about these players, and when I go through, who's a winner and who's a loser, I want to compare what our expectations was for them right before the season starts, what we expect out of them out of 2024, and if they're on trajectory to meet that, right? So our expectations for Tyler Guyton before the season, we just wanted him to be a first-day starter. We just wanted him to play well enough to be the starter week 1 against the Cleveland Browns. That was really the only expectation that you had from Tyler Guyton. You're going to have growing pains and everything else. But as long as he's on track to be starter week 1, he is headed in the right direction. He's on the right trajectory, so to speak, on all the expectations that we have for him. So he's playing well in training camp right now, holding up well in pass pro. Like I said, pad levels look better, hand placement looks better, drop back looks pretty solid. And listen, Duke Merriweather, gushed about him. How the man works hard. He came in, worked every day, got better every day. So, yeah, right now, a winner of training camp up to this point is Tyler Guyton. And listen, I know he's going to be going up against Myles Garrett week 1. But listen, I was the one that talked about the gauntlet. I'm going to put my face up real quick so we can go back and talk about it. he's going to play so many S tier. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna play so many S tier edge rushers and pass rushers this year. He'll probably be an elite left tackle by year 2. He'll play Myles Garrett. He'll play T.J. Watt. He'll play Nick Bosa. You know what I'm saying? He'll play. There's some more edges. Like there's a gauntlet of superior edges he's going to play. Aiden Hutchinson. You know what I'm saying, for the Detroit Lions. There's a bunch of great edges he's going to play this year. A bunch of them. So I'm not saying he's just going to. I'm not saying he's going to be a cakewalk. I'm not saying he's going to bleed through it or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it's going to be easy. But what I am saying is that he'll have ample opportunity to play quality talent and to learn from it. You don't want him just going up against bombs and everything else like that. You want him, while he's young, to get those valuable reps against quality opponents so you can see how he can hold up, man. And he'll get more than enough opportunities. Hell, even Kayvon Thibodeau from the Giants, we played twice this year. Kayvon had like 11 or 12 sacks last year. He is no scrub and no pushover. He said, how does he fare when he versus D-Law or Nealon? I'm not sure. You know, they really highlighted when he went up against Micah Parsons. I'll have to do a little bit more digging into that. But, you know, I feel like I can't speak on that. I can only speak about what they're saying because I'm not there. But we will have eyes on the ground. West Coast Cowboy will be at training camp. My brother, Landlord from Alabama, will be at training camp. So, you know, Cowboys Uncut will be bringing you raw, undiluted Dallas Cowboys content all off season to prepare y'all for what's to come in the 2024 season. Jay Bryant, what's up with you, man? He says, sup, man? I'm optimistic so far about Guyton being good enough for us to survive. Schumer looks like dumpster juice so far. Speaking of Schumer, I hope Schumer gets well soon. He went down with an injury yesterday. I'm not sure the severity of it. I'm not sure if he tweaked anything, but I don't think Schumer is a great is a great tackle. But, you know, I still don't want anybody to get injured or hurt or anything like that. So, prayers up for Chuma Edoga. Hopefully, whatever injury was nagging him subsides and he be back in practice pretty soon. Said Carlson has been the most productive. Henny. Carlson. I'm trying to see that name ring a bell. What's up with you, Double R? I see you. Appreciate you for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store, man. Just make sure everybody, when you slide in here, to hit that like button, hit that share button. Make sure y'all hit that like and hit that share button. Let everybody and their mama know the liquor store is open for business. But yeah, I'm excited about Tyler Guyton, man. Like, the man is what, 6'7", 6'8". He got all the athletic ability in the world, right? And the fact that he actually has the work ethic, and the drive to try and improve, and he wants it badly, that's when it all comes together. So, you know, up to this point, he's making the Dallas Cowboys look very smart. He made the Dallas Cowboys look very smart in their pick of him in the first round. Oh, you talk about the DB. Okay, yeah. Now, that is another person that's having a good camp to this point. Kalen Carson. Okay, Kalen Carson, yes. Kalen Carson is having a good camp. Had some pass breakups, had an interception. Like, Kalen Carson has performed well up to this point in training camp. He is also a winner up to this point in training camp. But a loser up to this point. And I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that. I'm not trying to drag this man's name through the mud. I'm not trying to disrespect the man. But everybody is saying the same thing about Trey Lance. I'm gonna put this up. I compiled a couple tweets from people that are out there and watching this shit. They're not talking great about Trey Lance right now. I'm not a Trey Lance hater. what I wanted for Trey Lance, and like I said, I would talk about what my expectations were for the player before I say why. The expectation for Trey Lance was to at least take the quarterback 2 job from Cooper Rush. That was the expectation this year. The expectation was for him to develop, sit and learn, and then take the jump to be able to replace Cooper Rush as quarterback 2. Because if he's able to be quarterback 2, he's able to be active on game day. If he's active on game day, you could put a package in to use his speed and athleticism from time to time to throw a curveball out there. Right now, he is not on track for that. Right now, they're saying that the quarterback 2 job still belongs to Cooper Rush, and he has not helped his stock. Now, Joseph Hoyt, NFL Insider. On the flip side, I thought it was Trey Lance's worst day of camp. He had a solid 2-minute drill, 2-minute drive drill to end the day, but the 2 interceptions he had in the previous team drills weren't great. Bobby Belt, and this was a little harsh. I think we talked about this the other day. Lance doesn't look like a legitimate NFL quarterback right now. Shit. My brother, Professor O. Make sure y'all check out Professor O. Real solid dude. Been on the show before. Got to get him back on the show. Trey Lance isn't making a super strong case for quarterback 2 right now. And I'm going to give you some of the things they're saying. They're saying he has not made great decisions with the football. They're saying some of his throws have been inaccurate. They're saying he's not getting through the play progression in the way that he should. Now, has he made plays? Has he made plays? Yes, there have been some plays he's made. Like, I seen a play where Trey Lance took off running. I seen a play where Trey Lance took off running, and that boy looked like Lamar Jackson. That man was scooting. That man was dipping. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the athleticism is there. The arm strength is there. The physical traits are there. The issue is he's throwing the ball to the other team a little bit too much. He's throwing the ball to the other team a little bit too much in these practice drills right now. He's not seeing the field the way that you want him to see the field as a veteran quarterback. Like, I get that he's young, but he's been in the league since like 2020. If I'm not mistaken, he's been in the league since like 2020 or 2021. I forget which one. But Trey Lance is not a child. Trey Lance has been in the league for quite some time at this point. I know he hasn't played a lot of football on any level, but you would hope that he would be a little bit further along in his development up to this point. So, that's why I have to have him as a loser of training camp up to this point. I'm not, and listen, my boy Jay Bryan said, Henny is not being mean to analyze this dude. He's just not ready to play. I think he's 2 years away from beating Cooper Rush at least. He's not seeing the field. And that's sort of the issue. He's probably a little bit of a ways out. And he's only on a 1-year deal at this point. Because he will be an unrestricted free agent after this season. So the 2025 offseason, anybody can sign Trey Lance to be on their team. Anybody. So yeah, so that's why I have to put him as a loser up to this point. Because he's not helping himself out by any means of the imagination. Some errant throws, not seeing the field. Matter of fact, I think I could pull up the 2 interceptions. So I think I got them in a reel. I had made a reel out of them. So I can find that and play that real quick. Should be on. I seen the clip where he threw directly. Yeah, that's one of them I'm talking about. Yeah, that's one of them I'm talking about right now. Said, can they cut Trey? If so, how much can the boys save? I don't think they can cut Trey and save any money. Let me check on that real quick, and then I'll verify for you. So let me pull up Trey Lance over the cap. All right. Yeah, they can't cut Trey Lance because Trey Lance is a rookie. The money that Trey Lance got right now is fully guaranteed. It's fully guaranteed. So his cap number is $5.3 million. If you cut him, you got $5.3 million in dead money. So no, you actually cannot cut Trey Lance, Rico. And our coaching staff doesn't have the time to develop him. All 1-year deals is a dicey situation. I mean, if we're being honest, Trey Lance probably should have never been a Dallas Cowboy. There was no reason to go out there and trade away a 4th-round pick for a guy who's barely played any football. Right? With the quarterback room that you already had Cooper Rush, who's won actual NFL games for you, who's helped you win NFL games. I know that he's not the best quarterback in the world, but he already knows the system. He does not have the same level of inaccuracy as Trey Lance does. I get the vision. I understand the vision of wanting to get a quarterback with that athletic ability to be able to run the RPOs and to read options and different things like that. Like in a perfect world, I get it. But you already had a serviceable backup quarterback. You didn't need a third one, right? You didn't need a third quarterback. So I'm not really sure why they even took the time to go out there and trade for Trey Lance. But it is what it is. It said pay the dead money. Don't waste the roster spot. Well, listen. Because he's technically not going to have... He's technically not going to have a roster spot, so to speak, on game day because he'll be the emergency quarterback. So you get a free roster spot for Trey Lance during the regular season. So it is what it is. Jordan Lewis is cooking up, and I seen Izzy get them reps. Hopefully Zimmer will use them this year. Izzy deserves a chance. Israel Mukuamu is definitely one of the people I wanted to talk about. Now, I'm not sure if you've seen the highlight in that compilation, but they were doing one-on-one drills. Jalen Tolbert against Israel, and he took the ball away. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think Israel got a couple of turnovers that he forced in training camp up to this point. Matter of fact, shout out to Israel, man, friend of the show. He came on and did an interview with Cowboys Uncut. If you have not seen it yet, make sure y'all jump on YouTube and check it out. It's on all 3 platforms. It's on my page, West page, and Landlord's. It was a great interview, man. And really, what I never understood is how he played so well. How he played so well in the playoff game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He played well in the playoff game against the 49ers, and then he started rotting on the bench after that. I don't really understand why they did him like that. But he definitely deserves play. We seen him play well in the playoff game, so I'm rooting for Israel Mukuamu to get some reps, to get some playing time, and to hopefully contribute this year. But he's helping the stock out. It's a very competitive safety room right now. We got Hooker. That we got Donovan Wilson, Marquise Bell's getting love. Marquise Bell's been pretty solid too. Another winner that they're speaking about right now, DeMarvion Overshown. DeMarvion Overshown has been a winner in training camp up to this point. Like, he pops out film, man. Wherever he's trying to get to, he gets there in a hurry. The speed is still there. And listen, when you're coming off of lower leg injuries, you're coming off of knee injuries, you be concerned about the acceleration and the pop and the explosiveness for players. You ain't got to worry about that for what I've seen with DeMarvion Overshown. Like, Overshown done healed like Wolverine at this point. That man is flying around the field. He's getting in the backfield. He's making contact in the backfield. Like, DeMarvion Overshown has definitely increased his stock. Now, I'm not really sure with the depth on this linebacking room if there was ever a doubt of him getting starter minutes. But now, from what he's showing over the course of this preseason, I mean, not preseason, but this training camp, he's making a valid statement. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's actually earning that. Before he was gonna start out of necessity. But you can look back on this and say, hey man, he's been all over the field. He's making plays. He looks quick. Like all those things are boding well for him. King G said Overshown is a dog. Yeah, man. Overshown been lighting it up in training camp up to this point. Another winner of training camp up to this point. And this is not actually surprising because he's coming off of a near MVP season. They said Dak Prescott has looked damn good as well. And this is according to Mike Leslie, right? He said Dak Prescott threw 9 touchdown passes today during practice in various different settings. 5 during the 7-on-7, 3 during red zone, and 1 to cap off the 2-minute drill possession at the end of practice. Jalen Tolbert caught 3 of them. Brandon Cooks caught 2. Luke Schoonmaker, Jalen Brooks, Cavante Turpin, and David Durden all caught 1 apiece as well. So Dak Prescott, up to this point, is having a very good training camp. And listen, man, did you expect anything else? Now, what I am impressed about is Dak Prescott is having a good training camp without throwing to CeeDee Lamb. I wish CeeDee Lamb was there to continue to build team chemistry, to continue to build on what they started last year. But the fact that he's still out there being successful with David Durden and Jalen Brooks and Luke Schoonmaker, who a lot of us don't think highly of, that's very telling, man. Like Dak Prescott, and this is one thing I wanted to point out. Dak Prescott probably has a entirely different grasp on this offense than he did a year before. Like year 2 of being in an offense, he's probably more comfortable. He probably has a little bit more control of the huddle. He sees it a little bit better. Like I'm sure like this is going to be a even better version of Dak Prescott that we get this season, just based off of that. Like the more time you usually have on task when it comes to being in the system, being in a scheme, you tend to get better at it. The more you do anything, you tend to get better at it, right? So him being in this system for a second year, knowing the play designs a little bit better, knowing the roles of the wide receivers a little bit better, I think it's going to pay dividends for the Dallas Cowboys in 2024. And again, he's been successful without CeeDee Lamb. Do I want him to continue to play well without CeeDee Lamb? Hell no. I need CeeDee Lamb in a jersey, on a plane, expeditiously. I need CeeDee Lamb there. I need CeeDee Lamb there, the more week 1, week 2. I need CeeDee Lamb. And we're gonna win a championship. CeeDee Lamb have to be part of that equation. But it is very telling, how well the Dak Prescott is playing in these situations without him. Like that's a very good system. It's a pure progression offense, West Coast system. They already talked about, the 2.3 by getting to the progression and then extending the play. Like Dak Prescott has raved about this offensive scheme and system. He loves it. He loves playing in it. So kudos to Dak Prescott for putting together a solid training camp up to this point. Let's talk about Mazi Smith. Let's talk about Mazi Smith real quick. So, and listen, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Mazi Smith is a winner by default, T-Jack. But at the same time, Mazi Smith has looked good. Said 4-9 Jacob or the Cowboy fan flexing practice touchdowns. No, we're covering training camp. We're covering who's doing well in training camp and who's struggling in training camp. Like everybody else is doing. So what the hell are you talking about, 4-9 Jacob? Are you sure you ain't 6'9 Jacob? Are you sure you ain't a 69 god and a freaky ass nigga? Let me know something. But Mazi is playing well, man. They're saying that he's taking double teams and allowing guys to get into the backfield. They're saying that he's they say he looks, and not only are they saying that he's playing better, they're also saying that he looks a little bit more physically imposing. It looks like he got his weight back. You know, it looks like he looked like an actual defensive tackle. You know, so I'm not sure why he was on the Jenny Craig diet, Weight Watchers diet, and lost that weight last year. But he's back looking like a true one tech. Like he's back to looking like a true one tech and causing issues for the offensive line in the middle. So I'm happy about that. Like I'm damn happy about that, because Mazi Smith, out of necessity, has to have a good 2024 season. I've been through this numerous times at this point, but you know, I gotta say it again. Dallas Cowboys let their highest rated pass rusher walk in free agency. Not pass rusher, but their highest graded run stopper walk in free agency. They do not have really any other options at the interior one tech spot outside of a 7th round pick and what's the boy name? Carlos Davis. I think it's Carlos Davis or some shit like that. They don't have any real premier one techs out there, man. They don't have any real premier one techs at this moment in time. So the Dallas Cowboys, man, they need Mazi Smith. They need Mazi Smith at this point, man. So the fact that he is playing well up to this point, the fact that they're saying that, he said, what is a good season for Mazi? Hold on. That's a very good question. I just need Mazi Smith. As long as Mazi Smith can help me in the run game, I listen, if the Dallas Cowboys are the 12th or if they're the 12th or 13th best run defense in National Football League, they ain't got to be top 10. If they are at least, you know, if they are at least, what's the word I'm looking for? Not average, because if they are at least slightly viable as a run defense this year, the Dallas Cowboys might have something. They might have something. They might be able to compete with the big boys. If we can slow down other teams' run games and not let them be one-dimensional, not let them just hand the ball off in gashes, then we can win. We can be successful. But you know that's going to rely heavily on Mazi Smith. In the postseason, a lot of the things that's gone wrong for us, we have not been able to stop the run. And when we needed to, we have not been able to run the football. So a good season for Mazi Smith. Dallas Cowboys in like the 12th or 13th spot in the run defense. If we can have games where we shut down viable run games, we can shut down the Eagles' run game, right? And it's legitimate. It's not because we ran up the score on the offensive side. If we're in a dogfight with a team and they can't run the ball consistently, that's a step in the right direction for the Dallas Cowboys. Because usually what happens is we get up by so many points that we make the other team one-dimensional because they got to throw to get back into the game. You know what I mean? But at this point, the Dallas Cowboys need to be able to stop the run on the man. Like game on the line, they're trying to run the ball to get a first down to end the game. You got to be able to make the stop. Right? That's what I need from the Dallas Cowboys. That's exactly what I need from the Dallas Cowboys at this point. Are you saying, oh, of course, Willie T. Yeah, Mazi Smith ain't got to see a sack. The only sack Mazi Smith need to see is the grocery sack when he leaving Costco or something. Like, Mazi Smith don't need to get a singular sack. Mazi Smith need to stop the run. He need to stop the run. He need to eat up double teams, eat up space, make it hard for offensive linemen to get to the second level. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need the Dallas Cowboys, you know, to focus on just stopping the run. You will be able to generate pressures. You got one of the best pass rushers in the league. DeMarcus Lawrence is also a very good edge. they're looking at. As a matter of fact, speaking of getting sacks and getting pressures, the Dallas Cowboys are looking to replace the production that they're losing with Sam Williams. Now they are going to be bringing in Carl Lawson, defensive end that played for the New York Jets, and he also played for the Bengals. All right, so they're going to be trying to look to replace some of that production that they lost from Sam Williams. Now, Carl Lawson, if you're not familiar with him, he's a decent player. You know what I'm saying? He's not one of the best edges in the National Football League or anything like that. But he probably is a guy that you can count on to get your production. Like, he had 7 sacks with the Jets in 2022. In 2023, I think he had an injury. I think he's coming off an injury. That's why his production was down so much. Yeah, it looked like he only got a chance to play in 6 games last year. So I'm not sure if he was injured. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. So he was limited by a back injury last year, and he barely played. So that's why his production went from 7 sacks to 0 sacks. So if Carl Lawson is healthy, he might even be an improvement. I ain't gonna hold you. Sam Williams ain't never had 7 sacks in a single season. So I ain't gonna hold you. If Carl Lawson is completely healthy, he might even be an improvement over Sam the Slam Williams. I can't lie to you. Because last time I checked, Sam ain't never got no 7 sacks. Jay Bryan said Mazi needs to stop the run, not be on the ground. If he can be strong and push around centers and pass plays too, that is successful. Mazi isn't about his stats. It's about linebacker stats. Facts. Listen, if the Dallas Cowboys linebacking core is at the top for tackles for loss or tackles for no gain, Mazi Smith did his job. Mazi Smith did his job. Yo, Justin Kitchen, what's up with you, man? Thank y'all for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store, man. And hey, I know the setup is a little different, but when we do this long form content like this, and you see the vertical screen, to like the content, just double tap on the screen, man. So everybody that has not liked the content yet, make sure you double tap the screen and like the video for me. Make sure you click on it and share it for me. Make sure you slap the dog shit out of an Eagles fan. And make sure y'all hit that cash up with that super chat, man. We in the liquor store cooking, man. We getting drunk on this content on a Thursday. Extra early. We pre-gaming for the weekend right now, man. Pre-gaming for the weekend right now. But yeah, Carl Lawson might be a slight improvement over Sam Williams. And listen, the Dallas Cowboys are technically cheap. So according to Todd Archer, because Carl Lawson might cost the Dallas Cowboys a little bit more money than they actually want to spend. We know that we got Scrooge McDuck. Some little penny pitcher motherfuckers in the front office. So in addition to bringing in Carl Lawson, they got some extra cheap guys coming in too. Justin Hollins, Al-Qadim Muhammad, Shaka Tony. They're all going to be coming in and working out today. Right, so Carl Lawson works out today. Justin Hollins, Muhammad, Tony, all of them will be working out for the Dallas Cowboys sometime today. I'm not sure they already had their workouts. I'm not sure if it's after lunch. I'm not sure. I gotta get an update. And find out. But yeah. So we'll figure it out though, man. Now you're asking me who I would prefer the Dallas Cowboys to sign out of these names. It is Carl Lawson. Because when healthy, Carl Lawson has shown me that he could be a productive pass rusher. Right? He could be a productive pass rusher, a disruptor. Right? So I would take Carl Lawson. Because that's what we're trying to replace. We're trying to replace some of that explosiveness off the edge when Michael Parsons isn't in the game. Right? But who knows? We'll see. I'm not saying that beggars can be choosers, But if it was my team, if I had the option of, picking up who I wanted to pick up, it would be Carl Lawson. Because I'm gonna come back to this talking point one more time. The Dallas Cowboys are not just trying to replace Sam Williams. The Dallas Cowboys got 16 damn sacks floating in the air that nobody done really told me where we're gonna get them from. Nobody done really told me where these other 16 sacks and however many pressures and however many quarterback hits is gonna come from this year. Right? One person is not going to make up for all that production. Because listen, if one person is going to step up and get 16 sacks, then they're probably ain't going to be a Dallas Cowboy the next year because they're going to have to get paid by somebody. You get 16 sacks in the National Football League, somebody going to pay you. So where are these other sacks going to come from? Will it be, from Nealon? Will it be from one of these guys they bring in? Who's going to step up and help me get these other 16 sacks? Where is this production going to come from? Like, let's be real. Where is this production supposed to come from? Said heard they were bringing Unique. Oh, that's cool. They do. Now, let's see what Unique stats have been looking like recently. Because at one point, I think he was a huge sack guy. He had a slightly down season last year, but the year before that he had 9.5 sacks. He had 9.5 sacks in 2022, and he had 4 sacks in 2023. But you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. Sam Williams had only gave me 4 sacks last year anyway. So if I can get another 4-sack guy, he want to play for a decent price, I'll take him. He's gonna be a pass rushing specialist. Cause that's what we want from him. He's gonna be a pass rushing specialist. So yeah, he only played 13 games last year. He still got 4 sacks, 13 tackles. So yeah, I wouldn't mind. And he had 2.5 stuffs, right? So yeah, I wouldn't mind getting Yannick either. It just really depends on which one want to sign and play with the Dallas Cowboys. I have no real preference. If you can give me close to the same production that I lost with Sam Williams, I'm fine with it. We'll have to see, but hey, I listen. I need the Dallas Cowboys to bring in another one tech as well. Because for as much as I love what I'm hearing about Mazi Smith, that is not a strength of mine just yet. Mazi Smith alone is not reason enough for me not to sign another defensive tackle. It's just not. You know what I'm saying? You need multiple defensive tackles. And this is a man that's coming off of a shoulder injury. How am I going to be completely sure that Mazi Smith is going to make it through the entire season, healthy? Because listen, y'all see how we got all these questions and stuff about CeeDee Lamb not being here? We're going to have the same questions at one tech if anything was to happen to Mazi Smith. Really, we're going to have the same question at edge if anything was to happen to Michael Parsons. Right? Because ain't nobody finna replace Michael Parsons' production if he goes down. Ain't nobody going to replace, CeeDee Lamb production if he holds out the entire season. Not like it's going to happen or anything, but still. Point being, like, we don't really have the depth to rest on our morals when it comes to the one tech position. Dallas Cowboys need to be signing somebody. They need to be signing somebody uncle, somebody cousin, somebody family member need to be a Dallas Cowboy playing one tech before the season starts. Outside of just Mazi Smith. It's good that Mazi Smith is having a good camp up to this point, but we still need more. All right, so let me see. Who else am I missing? Who else am I missing? We talked about Dak. We talked about Trey. We talked about Overshown. Jordan Lewis is a name that popped up. Jordan Lewis has been having a damn good camp too. And listen, y'all remember when I was trying to get Jordan Lewis out the way to save a couple $1 million? Yeah, I'm sorry. Hey, J. Lou, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I didn't realize you still had this much left in the tank, man. I'm sorry, bro. Like, hey, we get it wrong sometimes, man. I'm on the outside looking in. You know, there's a reason I'm not an NFL player. You know what I'm saying? So, like, hell, I didn't know. I made a mistake of selling you short. That's my apologies about that, man. Because he been out there acting an ass in that secondary the entire training camp. So I'm not really sure you can even call him a winner or a loser in this. He was going to be one of the primary corners anyway. You know what I'm saying? Same with Dak. He was going to be the starting quarterback regardless. But let's go from the same standpoint that we've been looking at. What was the expectations for Jordan Lewis ahead of the 2024 season? And is he on track to meet that, judging by training camp? To be the starting slot corner for the Dallas Cowboys, to contribute from time to time, get a couple turnovers here and there, be solid in coverage. The way he's playing in training camp, he's actually on pace to shadow those expectations. Like, J. Lou might be playing some of the best football of his career right now. From the outside looking in, he might be on pace to have one of his better seasons. Darlene said, I always believed in Mazi. If you got everybody with this, who I believe Mazi Smith is going to make this team, he's going to be a starter. He's going to stop the run. I pray that to be the case. He's having a great training camp up to this point. Stephen Carroll said, how things going today? So far, so good, Stephen. I appreciate you for stopping in and showing love to the liquor store, though, man. I appreciate your support. So, yeah, man. So, J. Lou. So, we talk about the winners of training camp up to this point. Let me just go through because I'm getting old, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't remember everything the way I should remember. But Dak Prescott. Mazi Smith, another winner. Kalen Carson, J. Lou, the Marvin Overshown, Tyler Guyton. Like, up to this point, all of those guys I just mentioned have been standouts and winners at training camp. And really, the only big time loser you could say, maybe Cooper BB too. I was gonna say just Trey, but Cooper BB is not there yet snapping the football. Like, he still has issues snapping the football, and that's why he ain't getting as many reps as you would like him to get. They've been running out with Brock Hoffman still at the starting center. And listen, I like Brock Hoffman. He played decently in the limited snaps that he got last year. But, if you're talking about expectations, Eric Kendricks I say Eric Kendricks having a good camp. So he's a winner. But I would say that Trey Lance and Cooper BB, judging by their expectations, the expectation for Trey to get the quarterback 2 job isn't looking great. And the expectation for Cooper BB was to be the starting center. I thought he'd be the starting center in week 1. I'm not entirely sure that'll be the case anymore from what they're saying. Like, Brock Hoffman really might be your week 1 starter at center, depending on if Cooper BB can get the snap stuff down. Because I think it's still there. Like, he's a very smart guy. He understands, he understands blitz pickup. He understands the blocking assignments very well. Just, I don't know. It's something that'll work itself out. It's hard to be perfect at something when you weren't doing it on a regular basis, until recently. Like, he wasn't taking a whole bunch of center reps and snaps in college like that. Regardless of how they try to sell you on the shit, if you look at the actual numbers of snaps he took at center in college in an actual football game, 0. He played 0 snaps at center in college on the collegiate level in an actual game. Now, I don't know what he was doing in practice. They say he got some work in practice at the position. In an actual fucking football game where other D1 athletes were trying to get to his quarterback and get to his backfield, he did not take any actual snaps at center. Right? So this, whatever. So that's probably why he having some issues with the snap and shit. So yeah, those are probably the two guys that really ain't on pace like you thought. And some people might say Deuce Vaughn, but I didn't have the super high expectations for Deuce Vaughn anyway, so he's not a loser in my opinion. Jacob, you made me so happy telling me this shit. Thank you, man. Said Trevon Diggs is going through the mock game right now as we speak. Thank God. Thank you, Lord. Because, listen, I was concerned. Yeah, I was concerned. Thank you, bro. Yeah, thank you, Willie T. I knew I wasn't crazy. He got practice reps at center in college, but never in the actual game. Hey, that might be the case, too. You never know. They might have him doing all this center stuff to only play it for 1 year. Because if Zach Martin really retires or they don't re-sign him or something like that, he would be the prime candidate to be Zach Martin's replacement. So I will give you that. But back to the Diggs stuff, man. I am happy as hell that Trevon Diggs is back healthy. He spoke saying that he was completely healthy. They're just going to be taking it, slowly to prevent re-injury or anything like that. So I'm happy because, listen, if Trevon Diggs is able to be on the field, the Dallas Cowboys are a much better team. Coverage-wise, pass rush-wise, that buys your defensive line a little bit more time to get into the backfield. Because, a defense works in two folds. You got to marry the pass rush with the coverage. And with him out there, your coverage instantly gets better. The guy that got the most interceptions in the league since 2021, you got to love Trevon Diggs, man. You got to love Trevon Diggs and the fact that we got him back. Because listen, if we're being real, I think a lot of shit plays out differently if Trevon Diggs was still the starting corner in the postseason. If he was still on the field and still contributing for the Dallas Cowboys, I think it would have went a little differently. Or I don't think there would have been all these wide open guys if Trevon Diggs was out there. You know what I mean? Because if Diggs was out there, you could have moved Bland back to the slot, and then you could have did something freaky like on Stephon Gilmore's side. You could have gave him more safety help, but you could have blanketed his guy. He was playing through an injury to protect him a little bit more. So there were some things coverage wise you could have did differently. Had Trevon Diggs been on the field. Yeah, listen. Even without Stephon Gilmore, we have one of the best secondaries in the National Football League. Because how many football teams got 2 All-Pro cornerbacks? How many football teams got 2 All-Pro corners? Because Trevon Diggs was an All-Pro, DeRon Bland is an All-Pro. Right? Dallas Cowboys got 2 All-Pro corners on their football team. I'm not really sure if there's another football team that can say that. I could be mistaken because, I'm not 1,000% familiar with every cornerback tandem in the National Football League. But Trey and Bland, they might be the best tandem. They might be the best 1-2 punch in the league when it comes to corners. Then you got Jay Lou holding down the slot corner position. So you still got one of the better slot corners because he's playing like it. And then you got 2 All-Pros on the outside. So I don't know, man. I don't think there's a better secondary. Yeah, and listen, he was a winner. He was a winner in training camps up to this point as well. He's getting his hands on the ball. He hasn't looked lost in coverage. So, those are all things you love. And, hey, man, aren't you glad that we kept our guy? Aren't you glad that we kept our defense? our defensive genius when it comes to our secondaries. Because listen, if my boy had messed around and went to the damn Commanders, I would have been pissed. So yeah, I'm glad. Yeah. So like, thank God. I bet all the DBs are glad that Al Harris is still here too. You know, so I bet all the DBs are glad that Al Harris is still here. Said new Madden disrespected him. They gave him as the 14th best corner. We're not going to worry about Madden. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to worry about Madden at all. You know, it is what it is, man. And listen, the beautiful thing about Madden, they do updates. They update it, you know, every so often. So even if he starts off not being one of the highest graded corners on the game, they can always adjust his rating later. Like with the way that I expect him to play, he'll be a top rated corner before the season's over with. Hey man, hey, you saw what I did there, actually. So we're gonna have to give Al. I'm sure Al will. Well, this is the thing. Like, how big of a promotion can Al get? Isn't Al Harris like the assistant head coach too? Is he not like the assistant head coach? Yeah. So like, he got a head head coach title, even though it's an assistant one. Oh, wait, Jacob. That's one I forgot about. I'm doing this a disservice not talking about it. Listen, Royce Freeman might be a lock to make the roster, and I did not think I would say that shit. I said that Royce Freeman will be a damn camp body. But they're saying that he's playing very well up to this point in training camp. He might be a lock as one of the three primary running backs. It'll probably be him, Rico, and Zeke. It's probably gonna be him, Rico, and Zeke from the way that they're talking, from the way things are playing out. And I did not actually think that was a realistic scenario when we first signed him early in the offseason. So, you know, kudos to Royce Freeman, because I did not expect him to do the things that he's doing. I did not expect him to play well. I did not expect him to be considered an integral piece that will actually make the final 53-man roster. I thought he'd be a camp body. I thought he'd get some reps. I thought he'd be gone by the time training camp was over. So him stepping in and doing the things he's doing, I did not expect that at all. So you gotta show him love for that. So our cornerbacks look better than Cromartie and Reeves did with the Jets. Man, that was a hell of a duo too. That was a hell of a duo too. Yeah, man. Like, nobody thought Royce Freeman, journeyman running back, would solidify himself on the Dallas Cowboys. Nobody. At least nobody that was familiar with Royce Freeman. Hey, y'all bear with me, man. Y'all bear with me. I gotta take a phone call. So while I take this phone call, I'm finna play some of these training camp highlights over again. So y'all bear with me, man, because y'all been great up to this point, man. I appreciate y'all rocking out with me as long as y'all did. So y'all give me 2 seconds. I'll get this loaded up for y'all, and we can continue the show. I gotta take a phone call real quick. Bear with me. Matter of fact, it can wait. I'll return this phone call after I get off of here. We're going to keep rocking. We just going to keep rocking. He said, hey, players make mistakes. Yeah, like this, there is no exact science to any of this stuff. Usually with players, you go off of what the film tells you. You go off of past production, you know. And listen, he was not a running back that had a lot of production these last couple of years. He's been around the league a lot for a reason. Now, if he's doing well right now, that's all that actually matters to me, right? That's actually all that matters to me. If he can contribute to my football team, help me win football games, I don't care about being wrong. When it comes to shit like that, I prefer to be wrong. Said he and Trey Lance, we know he nefariously paying the Joneses to keep Malik Davis on the team. To be fair, Malik Davis has not been trash. He ain't been trash, at least in training camp. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I think Land is playing these boys under the table to keep his homeboy around. They grew up together. You know that's why he loves him. I'm not playing. You know, yeah. But yeah, man. Y'all got any closing thoughts before we wrap this up, man? We've been on here for about an hour. You know, I gave y'all this on my lunch break. Took time out the day to bring y'all some exclusive Dallas Cowboys content. Matter of fact, that's what I want to tell y'all. The NFL kicks back off tonight, man. The Hall of Fame game is tonight. The Bears will be playing the Houston Texans. While we won't see Caleb Williams, I'm going to check it out. We're going to have a watch party here in our standard format. We ain't going to do no vertical. We ain't going to do a vertical stream. We're going to do a standard format watch party. We're going to have ourselves a good time, man. We do play the Texans this year. So I want to see what kind of players they got over there. I really want to see if they got any players that we can pilfer off of them too. Right? Because, you know, there's going to be a bunch of guys get cut. A bunch of guys going to be on different teams to start the new season. So have I heard anything about Snoop Connor? I ain't heard a mumbling word about Snoop Connor. I ain't heard a word about Snoop yet. But hopefully, you know, he does something. But I don't think. But man, listen, that man was an undrafted free agent, and he was never a starter in college. So you know, I don't really know what to expect from a guy like that who makes a splash play here and there. Yeah, outwatch, scouting the enemy. Matter of fact, this is going to be the very first rendition of scouting the enemy in 2024. Man, Eastside, so I ain't gonna talk crazy about Eastside here. Not yet. But yeah, man. So make sure y'all spin the block. We'll be going live like 15 minutes before the game starts. It's about 6:45. We'll cover the game while it's still interesting, but we're gonna cover some NFL football. So tap in with me tonight. But on the way out though, man, make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit the share button. If you appreciate the content, make sure you hit the Cash App with a super chat. Help keep the lights on. And again, I appreciate y'all for everything in advance. But your boy is out, man. I got to get back on this clock. Peace. God bless. And in the words of West Coast Cowboy, never look down because the star is up.
Thinking about changing locations and shit. Man, into this motherfucking bag. Stand on the way I made. Sacrificing time for this shit. Man, I got a plan. Tried to tell niggas years ago. They ain't understand. Riding by myself and it's cool. I'm all in my head. Everything in life you can't replace. I build relationships. Pretty little smile make a nigga wanna lock it in. We met the same time I lost a friend. We should try again. You should hop in. I ain't gonna hurt you, baby girl. You know we locked in. Used to be on FaceTime calls on the regular. Never made time, landed on my busy schedule.